beep 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 beep. Did the music stop too early? Beep 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 beep. Phase Hero, November 26th, Season 2, Episode 2. Recording November 26th, releasing on podcast platforms November 27th. Happy Thanksgiving week if you celebrate. BD here, joined tonight, or in the morning if you're in the car, if you're spending the weekend with family. Good luck, soldiers. We got Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody. Sorry to the audio-only listeners who missed out on BD kind of doing a South Park-esque singing along to the theme music there when it cut off too early. That was wild.
We got Aaron Perrine.
Taking a big gulp of water. What's up, BD?
Ooh-wee. We got Jamie Durack.
I love this new time. Yes.
Jamie's thriving. Jamie was doing cartwheels in the pre-show. Just backflips, cartwheels. It was crazy. She doesn't do that at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'll tell you that right now. Welcome to the show. Big old chunky boy today. Send you into the weekend with some insights, opinions, and debates. Episode 100 merch has just a few days left. If you're waiting, this is it. It is November 26th. It is gone at the end of the day on November 30th. So go ahead and get you some episode 100 merch if you want to. Thank you so much in advance. Thank you to everybody who has purchased it. And thank you to Garrett for the super chat during the countdown. Welcome to our circus. I believe this is Garrett's first live show. Might have been live with us for episode 100. W. Garrett's in the chat. A lot of love for the Face Here community in the chat. Two things we got to address real quick. One, yes, the thing everybody wants to know is that you can watch the main character versus Icon Lee at Thanksgiving Thunder on Thursday night with your entire family and see if I retain in my first title defense at OVW. Second, Stranger Things is out now. Not the whole thing, but some of that strange thing is out on Netflix. I am not up to date on Stranger Things, by the way. I'm doing my best. Who here is a Stranger Thinger?
I mean,
that sounds kind of weird. That's a weird way to put that.
I got that big Demogorgon tattoo.
Is Stranger Things your thing? Like, because you got tattoos of many things.
I got a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I broke my number one rule, which is getting a tattoo before the show is over. I normally don't do that.
Oh.
So I'm rewatching. I actually am planning. My whole Thanksgiving is planned around it tomorrow. Tony's cooking. Jake's coming over, and he's going to make one course per episode. So he's going to serve a course. We're going to watch an episode, and so on and so forth. I'm hyped. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for my babies. I don't want them to die.
Hannah Basso says Stranger Things crashed Netflix and Twitter.
I believe it.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I want to get up to date. I tried. I just didn't have time. I just finished season 3 last night.
Were you crying?
No.
Oh, wow. I sob every time I watch that. I sob.
Here's the thing. And I'll stay spoiler free here. I'll say this in a way that if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know. I know that character is still on the show.
But that doesn't take away from the emotion of the letter. I've seen it 7 times and I'm still sobbing. I know what happens, but it gets me every time.
I'll say the letter was fantastically written. It hit me more personally than it did in a way that I cared about how it impacted the characters. Hearing the words in that letter felt more... Maybe I'm just a selfish, introspective person more than I care about these kids from Hawkins. But I was thinking about like, oh yeah, I've been guilty of not wanting things to change. I've been guilty of this and that. And I thought that was really touching. But I thought season 3 overall was good, not great. And I was like, I don't understand. But I hear season 4 is like amazing. So I'm very excited for that. I think.
I personally prefer 3 to 4, but I think it's all amazing. I think all of it's great. There's no, but season 3, I have a real soft spot for.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to watch the rest of it. But we will not be talking about Stranger Things today. Even if we were talking about Stranger Things today, it just came out. We wouldn't have even had time to watch the whole thing yet. So if you're watching Stranger Things, maybe we'll do a Stranger Things episode when it all wraps up and share our thoughts. I don't know enough about Stranger Things, but I could be kind of the one who just asks Jamie a bunch of questions maybe. But we'll see. If you guys want that, let us know. Our Wicked for Good review is also available on podcast platforms, exclusively on audio. Thank you to everybody who's downloaded it. But we're going to get started with this week's rundown. We're starting with Marvel. There's quite a bit of Marvel news. We got some DC stuff to talk about, some other movie stuff, some Star Wars stuff, Hunger Games, and some certain Ryan Johnson movies to talk about as well, and Zootopia. So let's start with Marvel. Hugh Jackman is the latest to talk about possibly returning. He was on the Graham Norton show, and he was asked, "Are you going to come back?" And he said, "Okay, I won't do it. I'm never going to say never again. I have done 10 films now, so I think they have enough for an AI version of me." He's clearly having a laugh. I don't want everybody to get up in arms about the AI comment. I think he's just joking. But this guy's coming back, obviously. Deadpool and Wolverine left that open-ended. This man is in it, as Brandon Moore just said in the comments, till he's 90.
I do wish he wouldn't have made a joke even about AI and like made it a thing to put in people's heads of like, oh yeah, just make an AI version of him and don't even have him in it. But like you said, we talk about it practically every single week at this point. He's in Secret Wars.
Yeah, he's there. If you don't do Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Wolverine together with those OGs of each character as far as the mainstream media knows them in live action, insane missed opportunity. Insane. Benedict Cumberbatch talked about Doctor Strange's future. Did Benedict Cumberbatch had a chair, right?
No chair, which is interesting because he was the first person to say he was in Doomsday. Like I'm pretty sure we were at the old place and we were talking about him being in Doomsday because he said he was, but then he didn't get a chair. So
that's it. I just assumed he's in Doomsday. This whole time, I've just figured he's one of the people in Doomsday.
He's been one of those actors who every time that they've asked him, he's like flip-flopped on it. He's been like, I think I am. No, wait, I'm not. Like sometimes in the same interview, he clarifies that he isn't. So I don't know what to believe, but at least based on these quotes, it sounds like he's going to be in Secret Wars.
I can tell you this. I trust Jamie about them chairs more than anything else.
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember the orders they came out or anything. I'm like, Jamie, do they have a chair? And she's like, yes, Aaron, they did have a chair.
Jamie's like Arya, just like listing names at the end of the night of just all of the people who got chairs in order.
Chris Hemsworth, Vanessa Kirby. I actually don't think I can do the order, but some of it, maybe.
Jamie's going to get tattoos down her forearm of the names from the chairs in order that they were revealed. Wow. That's next.
No.
I told you I'd get a chair tattoo. I would get it, but no one liked the idea.
It's upside down. Like my Superman watch, it was a birthday gift. Oh, thanks for the birthday love, everybody. That my birthday happened over the weekend, too.
Hell yeah.
Whoa! Oh my God, I got so excited.
Knocking stuff over.
Superman watch. I knocked over my cup that has a Phase Hero Day 1 sticker on it. Phase Hero stickers are available now on phasehero.com. Benedict Cumberbatch talking about Doctor Strange's future. To Collider, he said he's coming at some point. You will definitely see him again. And then to Smartless. What is Smartless?
A podcast.
Oh. There are other huge commitments involving cloaks floating about next year, is what he said to Smartless. So, like, famous Joe Russo. I think that he's obviously in. I thought he was in Doomsday, but I obviously, apparently, my thoughts mean nothing because I genuinely was convinced. Like, I just thought it was a known thing that this man is in Doomsday, and I was wrong apparently. But there's no chance you do a multiverse story through 2 Avengers movies and you don't use Doctor Strange, especially with how that ended. But hey, okay, do we see Charlize Theron in either of these movies as Clea from the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Yay or nay? Let's go around. Go ahead,
I'm going to say yay because I hope so, because having her be in that one scene for like less than a minute and then immediately being like, oh, we left her, abandoned her, she's dealing with other multiverse stuff, she's not in this movie, that would just suck.
Okay, we've got our first yay. Aaron?
I'm going to say yay. I would say that she's going to be in the post-credits for Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right. Jamie?
As much as I want it, my gut tells me we're not getting it. Who knows? I don't know anything, but I'm gonna say nay, but not because I don't want it.
I'm gonna say I never pick against Aaron, and for that reason, I'm with the prophet. I say yay. I like this Brand New Day theory, and everything Aaron says comes true. So that's why I'm sticking with it. I'm doubling down. Put the house on it. Kelsey Grammer was yapping about Doomsday as well. This one to Entertainment Tonight. Jamie, you're a Kelsey Grammer Beast fan, right?
Yeah, sure am. You want me to read this quote?
Sure, yeah. We love a good Jamie quote read.
All right. I'm a big fan of RDJ. I love him and he's just a terrific fella. Sort of share a scene. I don't want to go into that. I don't know what I can say or not say. Like, he's like Alfred Molina-ing this. Like those old guys have no shame. But then he talked to He also said, he talked about Pedro Pascal, but he said, I really had a great time with, and he couldn't remember his name. He goes, the new guy from Fantastic Four, and then he remembered Pedro Pascal. Wonderful guy. I really, really enjoyed hanging out with him. So it's like, that didn't surprise me that we're going to get this, like the smart guys together. I feel like that's obvious, but I do think Kelsey's saying more than he should. God, Kelsey, he's just that one guy that I'm constantly shaking my head about.
The amount of times that Kelsey Grammer gets brought up in our group chat is not zero. It happens like frequently enough to where it is funny. I didn't know that he didn't remember Pedro's name when I put this quote in here. Like, that is delightful, having that like flavor to this quote. It's also interesting to me of like, we can kind of put together a little web of who supposedly maybe shares a scene with Doom and who doesn't. Cause he's like, we sort of share a scene, and like Channing Tatum said something similar kind of about Gambit. So we can kind of put things together, but it still is such a small picture of the movie.
I really, Jenna, you were there on Tumblr during the Smart Bros.
Science Bros. Yeah.
Science Bros. To the fourth power is gonna melt down the internet when it's all like Beast, Mr. Fantastic, Hulk, and possibly Iron Man, whatever, in the same frame. We also, I will say, yeah, the I can't repeat what I said in the group chat about the Kelsey Grammer of it all, but Jamie knows. Her boy, he will not shut up. He will not shut his trap.
God, you can't call him my boy. We need to find a better way to describe him.
We all get one. We all get one.
BD takes a big sip.
Nobody knows. Space Hero After Dark. You're assuming this is water in my water bottle.
I can read the next quote, just talking about people and being in MCU things. So Sadie Sink, who we talked about on last week's show, supposedly is in Secret Wars, according to a random report. She spoke to Entertainment Weekly about the rumors around Brand New Day and who she's playing. And she said, quote, a lot of people forget that hair color can change. People will just have to wait and see. I'm excited for all of it to maybe be put to rest. I find this funny because it's like, maybe she is playing a redhead, maybe she's not, but I do understand, like, every time a redheaded actress gets cast in one of these movies, like, people immediately jump to certain fan casts. So it's funny that she says that, but ultimately I think wherever we're going to shake out, that this quote might age well or horribly. But it has to be weird, like, being in her position and like having this nebulous swirl of like 20 different characters that people think she's playing.
I gotta say, Sadie Sink and this Spider-Man Brand New Day quote train, this poor girl, known best for Stranger Things, trying to do the Stranger Things press tour. I just watched her watch what happened in the season 3 finale of Stranger Things last night. I have no idea what's going to happen in season 5, other than she's definitely in it because her name keeps coming up because she's in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And this has to be one of the most who is she playing castings I've seen in a very long time. And watch it just turn out to be a small role. Mm-hmm. Hugely possible. We've seen that in Spider-Man movies before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still utterly convinced she's Firestar, but no matter who she's playing, I think she probably is a redhead, but she's not wrong. She's an actor. Who cares what the hair color is? I do think that is deeply ridiculous, and even if she's playing a redhead, I don't blame her for being annoyed about it.
Me and Jenna have been joking around. I have been waiting on the Jenna mega mix of here's every single redhead in Marvel Comics continuity, so that you can hedge all your bets at the same time. Because
how many are there? How many did you come up with?
No, Aaron's saying like I could do that. I am not doing that.
She could. Oh. She's like, do not sign me up for that, Aaron. But like we've joked around, definitely. Like Rachel, other people, like there's at least 6 different redhead fan castings on the internet that people are like, it could be this, and I'm like, that's nuts.
I just typed in redheaded women in Marvel Comics, and there is a whole fandom.com subsection category red hair.
I mean, that's every comic universe has a version of that. Like, I will say, like, they get very, very into the weeds with specifics like that.
There
are only so many hair colors.
Too. It's not just men, though. It's not just women. It has men as well. But so this is the top 8. These are the trending characters with red hair. Matthew Murdock is on this list. I don't think she's playing Matthew Murdock. But you've got Jean Grey. Madeline Pryor would be crazy. Mary Jane Watson is one that I think was a lot of people's knee-jerk thought because it's a Spider-Man movie, but I don't think that's what's happening because there's already an MJ there. We got Hope Summers. That would be interesting.
Woo.
Aldrich, Odin's daughter. That's like a Thor sibling, right?
Yeah, but we're not doing that
We
here.
got Raven Darkholm, and we got Elsa Bloodstone, who's already been cast in the MCU with Werewolf by Night. Who was the actress that played Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night?
Oh my god, I'm totally blanking on her
I'm
name.
gonna look. Werewolf by Night is just I could see her face. I don't know her name.
Eva Green, Jesus, right?
No.
That was not
No,
Eva
it's
Green.
not Eva Green. Fuck,
No.
who is
Just
it?
got cast in Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Who is the chicken?
Laura Donnelly.
Wow, we did that at the same. Look
Yeah,
at
we
us.
messed that up.
Definitely not Eva
I do
Green.
get how you think she
No,
would look
you're
like
right.
Eva Green, though. That does make sense.
She does look kind of like her, but I definitely got my wires in my brain crossed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
it's the best of us.
So none of those top 8 trending redheaded characters are amongst our picks for Sadie Sink, and I feel bad for Sadie Sink. I think she's going to be so relieved when a Spider-Man trailer or something comes out and she can stop being asked who she is and be asked literally anything else about this movie. And I really will not be shocked if it turned out to be a pretty small role, at least in this. Maybe it's a big role later, but it could also just be like, oh, another classmate.
I said as much last week. Again, her being in Secret Wars doesn't necessarily mean that she has to be a big character. Ned was in Infinity War. Also, DC Film News is like she's Uncle Ben, which like LOL. That is the level of some of the fan cast that we're getting to at this point. I'm still team Mayday because I feel like that reveal of like she's Toby's daughter would have people levitating out of their chairs. But there are so many possibilities at this point.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Especially, I think also a character like that got more popular after the Spider-Verse movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we got this one. This next topic. I know I'm about to be the villain here, but we got a quote from somebody important from a Marvel movie, and that's valuable insights here.
Okay. So Brandon, let's break it to you gently. Chloe Zhao's talking about Eternals. She was talking to Screen Rant and was asked if she would be interested in bringing our friends back, Kingo back from his long voyage with Celestial Agatha, who's on Jamie's arm. I would love to bring them back and have more discussion about the world we live in. I'm really proud of it. So, Eternals Hive. There's been that one episode of What If I Just Joked Around About and 2 seconds of Captain America Brave New World. How we feeling about an Eternals sequel of any kind?
I think her wanting to make it and it actually happening are two very different things. Like I know people are definitely happy to hear that she wants to come back to it, but I think given the way that like Kevin Feige has talked about whether or not the Eternals are in the next 2 Avengers movies and just kind of like the writing on the wall, I don't think we're going to get it, but at least it sounds like she would do it.
I don't think we're getting it. And my thing is that I think is going to be like slightly different from what BD is going to say is like, I'm not a big Eternals fan. It's a bottom tier for me. I liked it. It's okay and love it. But even if I hated it, I would still want a second one because my thing is like, what if we stopped at Dark World? We never would have gotten Ragnarok, just because one iteration isn't necessarily beloved, even though the Eternals absolutely have their corner of fans. I don't think that should stop you from continuing it. If she wants to do it, the actors want to do it. I want to see it, even though I don't love the first one. I still would want a sequel, but I don't think we're getting it.
It's funny you mentioned Dark World and not Captain America when your like top Infinity Saga movie is the second Captain America movie.
The people liked the first Captain
Oh,
America.
I know. It's just based on our
didn't.
rankings. I liked it a lot more than everyone else. I also will say before
That's
BD
for
starts
sure.
talking, I think the ending that like Eternals, the note that Eternals ends on is a huge part of why people are like, we still need a sequel. Cause like, I don't know when and how we're ever going to get resolution with that. And like, that makes me want a sequel almost more than anything else, just to see like, where does that even go?
There are characters in Eternals I'd really like to see again. Kingo, Makari, Druid. There are very interesting characters in Eternals. However, Eternals is the first MCU movie that I watched and went, oh, I wish that didn't count. Because of what it did to the lore, not even because of the quality of the film. It's not my favorite movie. I don't have huge beef with the quality of the movie. It's fine. There's highlights in it. There's lowlights in it that are darkly lit, basically. I think that forest fight, I couldn't see what was happening. But I think I have a lot of respect for Chloe Zhao as a director. If they make an Eternal sequel, I'm there. And I do want to see these characters again. But I'm also at a place where, like, I've been waiting on a Shang-Chi sequel for how long? Where is Doctor Strange 3? Where so many open threads from movies from the multiverse saga that are instead of sequels just going to end up filling into Doomsday and Secret Wars and probably resetting pretty heavily after that. That Eternals as a sequel is at the absolute probably bottom of my list for characters that have had movies so far. But I would watch it. I'm not going to hate on it if it happens, but I'd rather see those characters pay off elsewhere because I just don't like the way that it tried to. That's also one of my biggest problems with Captain Marvel is how it sort of rewrote some history that I didn't like the way it did it. And that's me being a continuity snob. Like, you know, and I think that's the way Nick Fury lost his eye. Still, like, I will fight to the death that was so stupid. And the way that the Eternals. Can we just acknowledge something real quick? I'm sorry. I'm going to go on this rant here. I know everybody said they were not supposed to interfere. They were not supposed to interfere. That's why they let Thanos happen. Not only did they interfere, but letting Thanos happen directly contradicted the whole purpose of their existence. So that set them back 50% of the progress they had made over millions of years. Then, if you think about it, if Icarus did literally nothing, he would have achieved his goal. But instead, he rounded up all of the people who could stop him for literally no reason, just to tell them he was doing the thing they decided they didn't want him to do anymore. And then they could stop him. Anyway, I've never actually said all of that about Eternals. There's a lot of really good stuff in there, but it made like some of the continuity stuff piss me off.
See, you have all those grievances. I'm just over here like I wish it looked even more like Jack Kirby's illustrations and not just gray and muted the way that it is in the movie.
Yeah.
So we all have our different opinions.
Makari's one of the coolest characters introduced in the entire multiverse saga. That fight scene with her and Icarus on the beach, bring back Lauren Ridloff. What the hell are we doing? Anyway.
Yeah.
So there's parts of Eternals I loved. And Kumail Nanjiani seems like he's so down to play Kingo. How have we not brought that man back in live action yet? Okay, yay or nay? Do we ever see Harry Styles in the MCU again?
Absolutely not.
No way.
Do we see Harry Styles in another movie again?
Yeah, I think Hollywood realized that like maybe he can't act, and that's okay. How many times do we have to say you have a lovely singing voice? Probably, I don't know. I've never listened, but I did see that one movie he started, and he's not very good.
I will give him credit though, because his dumb quote of like, my favorite thing about a movie is that it's a movie and it just feels very cinematic like a movie. That gets quoted in my household way too often.
Wasn't he sat next to Steve Trevor at that point?
Yeah, it was. That was that same day of Spitgate. But like he was not wrong. Sometimes a movie does feel like a movie.
All right, we're gonna move on. I sent us on a tangent. I apologize. So let's get to some good news.
Yeah, so Daredevil executive producer Sana Amanat teased Born Again season 3, and this was in an interview with Empire. She said, "quote We're trying to make it more stripped down, back to basics. Daredevil. The ideas we have are places we haven't gone before, and that's really thrilling." And then the same article also says that Punisher's not in season 2, which makes sense given the special presentation and him being in Brand New Day.
I like Sana Amanat. She worked on Miss Marvel. She's done a lot of good stuff in the MCU.
He co-created Kamala as a character.
Oh yeah, in comics, right? Yeah, that's crazy. What a story. That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Sana. And if she's excited about Daredevil season 3, that gets me excited about Daredevil season 3. There was another quote about Daredevil. Didn't Charlie Cox say something like, "Foggy is dead"? Didn't he come out and say that this week?
I think he did, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes to a third season, mostly because I'm curious how Doomsday and Secret Wars will impact the street level New York characters that are claiming not to be part of this. I believe Charlie Cox when he says he's not in Doomsday. I don't believe he's not in Secret Wars. I think that'd be a huge missed opportunity. But be curious to see how the MCU gets affected by the events that aren't taking place on TV.
That was part of why I put this quote in here, because it's like, okay, stripped down, back to basics, and yet this is in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, what exactly does that look like?
Well,
I don't know.
You talk about season 3, right?
Yeah.
Which would be at least after Doomsday.
If they're releasing annually, which Brad made it sound like that's what they're going to do.
It possibly after Secret Wars. Say what?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking season. We're already on season.
We're on season. We're going to have season 2 this next year, and then season 3 would be the following year after Doomsday, but before Secret Wars.
I still haven't finished season 1. We never did our Phase 5 ranking. That was why I was going to finish it, and then
I am still amazed that it is like not really spoiled for you all these months later.
I don't even know this is so bad. This is, to me, it's this. I've said this to you guys before. I think I texted this to you guys when we were talking about episode 100 plans. I genuinely could not sit here and tell you what the first project in Phase 5 is. It's
Phase
whatever
5?
came after. Wakanda Forever was the end of Phase 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was the next project? I don't know.
Quantumania.
I can
Was
tell
it
you
Quantumania? It was Quantumania.
I only know it's the
Maybe that's
first one
why.
because it was Quantumania and they hyped that up as a big deal.
That's crazy. And then
Yeah.
Fantastic Four First Steps was the last.
Mhm.
I think so.
Well, no. Is Wonder Man the first thing in Phase 6? I could tell you each movie in each phase from the Infinity Saga.
Well, because we didn't have TV then. Like,
Yeah.
it was a different time. Now we've got all these TV shows. Like, you're not wrong, but it's just different. It's different.
Apparently, First Steps was the first project of Phase 6.
There we go.
Oh, Thunderbolts ended. Well, where's Ironheart?
I think,
So
yeah,
you
then
know.
Ironheart would have. Phases mean nothing now.
And did they ever?
Hey,
I don't know. I don't
hey.
think they ever did.
hey,
I
sometimes phases change. Okay.
That is true.
It's a good
Phases mean
R&B
everything
group
on
right
this
there.
show. They do not mean what they used to mean in the MCU.
Wonder Man promo's getting a little fun. I like what they're doing. I think this is clever. They are adding these like real world ads with Trevor Slattery's acting classes. And where is it? I tweeted this. I saw this on Jim Velasco's Instagram story, and I put it on our Phase Hero
You
account.
Just went
here.
past it.
Wait, I'm oh, there it is.
There.
So you can call and have a Trevor Slattery. Should I just call it right now and see what happens? I haven't called it yet.
I will also say for the people who don't like calling, you can also text it because Chris showed me his
845.
phone the other night with a text from Trevor Slattery, and I was like, this is adorable.
So the number for audio listeners is 805-8-TREVOR. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
You reached the voicemail for the Trevor Slattery method, a 10-week seminar on acting by Trevor Slattery. The Slattery method will help you master box breathing, improvisation, the fine art of accents, and how to give the perfect audition. In my charitable efforts, I'm releasing a free version of the Slattery method. Just text this number, sign up. And if this is the IRS, oh, this is Jerry, and I'm busy swinging hair right now.
That's amazing.
Delightful.
Listen, you guys found out during our ranking episode that Iron Man 3 is my favorite Iron Man. I love Trevor Slattery so much. I'm so excited for this. What a campaign. They're having fun.
One of the biggest joys of New York Comic Con was watching Ben Kingsley watch the Wonder Man trailer at that panel that you hosted. Like, that was a wild experience.
There's parts of what he just said that are relevant to the show.
Interesting.
And it just seems like he's having fun with this. That is cool. That's fun. I didn't know. I had that was my first time. I'm glad I did that first time call just now. Well, should we sign up for? Should I text it and just get the notifications so that I get all the Trevor Slattery acting lessons? Yeah, here we go. I'm going to text it, and then we're going to switch over to DC. Jenny, you want to take us over to DC land while I text Trevor Slattery?
Sure. I'm going to move one story up, and then that way you can cue me up to go on a tangent that I want to go on. But I'm going to start with Supergirl. So people have noticed across this week that social accounts for the Supergirl movie now exist online. There's a X Twitter account, we're all just going to call it Twitter anyway, and an Instagram account that people have found. The writing is on the wall that there's going to be a trailer at CCXP next week, and this definitely helps in that regard. So what do we think? Are we getting a trailer very, very soon?
Should we yay or nay it?
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yay. I'm
Big
so
God bless
excited.
Brazil.
She said hell yay.
Hell yeah. And then another piece of news dropped kind of in a random place. So Ferdinand Kingsley, who is Ben Kingsley's son and is also an actor who has been in Reacher and Mank and The Sandman, has been cast in the movie as Ruthie's father. This was according to his agent's website. Like, the listing is still up. So people are like, okay, cool. We'll take you at your word for it.
Never thought about Ben Kingsley's family, but Ferdinand Kingsley sounds like the child of a Sir Ben, if I'm honest.
He was really good in his episode of The Sandman, so I'm happy to see that he's in this.
Okay. Hannah Basso with a 199. Can we get some quick CCXP predictions? Thank you for the 199, Hannah. To be honest, I'm not super versed on what's going to CCXP. I would assume The Boys will do something big. Amazon usually goes pretty big there. I would assume Supergirl and Warner Brothers as a whole will have a massive booth that will be probably full of Easter eggs and some sorts of reveals. They've done that before. I don't know what else is going though.
Would Avatar be a thing since that's like the next big movie and this is next week? That would be.
I don't know. I mean, I see Avatar
But
on
like
Monday.
you wouldn't have like a panel, I guess. It would just be presents, maybe. But
looking at the website, it looks like Welcome to Derry and The Boys both have events. So I do think you're onto something there with that.
It does seem like a big place for streaming shows.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be what usually takes the cake and takes the lead at CCXP in Brazil. And CCXP in Brazil is insane. Like it makes San Diego seem small and somehow feels way less crowded. It's amazing how that works when you leave America. See, I think it's factually the biggest Comic-Con in the world, but it is so much literally bigger that you're never feeling like stepped on or like you have to rub elbows with people just to literally breathe.
I think they're probably going to get One Piece too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, One Piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, One Piece is a big one. I haven't gotten into One Piece because...
Oh, the live action show is so good. I've seen it twice and I'm going to rewatch it again before season 2.
They just cast,
so good.
Cholo.
Yeah.
But also, isn't Cat Grant, Michaela Hoover just get cast in that?
She is voicing a very beloved character, like a very beloved animated character on the show. So
isn't Cole Escola going to be in it?
What?
Isn't Cole Escola cast in
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And David Dastmalchian and like the cast, like the pull that they get for the show is insane. Like so many people just love One Piece already that they're willing to come and play in the sandbox, but like they get the best guest stars.
All right.
I need to watch it.
It's so good.
One last Supergirl question here before we move on to the next bits here on DC. If and when we get a Supergirl trailer, yay or nay, my new favorite Phase Hero series here, is Superman in the trailer?
No.
Nay.
I think you get Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lobo is the big like reveal surprise of the trailer and not Clark.
And do you think that people are going to be confused? Like this, like, is my mom going to say, "Oh, Aquaman's in this movie"?
No.
Okay.
The level of prosthetic makeup that I have a feeling he's going to be under, and also like I would not be surprised if they just show like the back of his vest or something.
Yeah.
Like the Bite Me fanboy vest that he wears in the comics is iconic. Like literally, if you just showed the back of his head and his back, people would still lose their minds. And then you could eventually build to like a full look at him in the second trailer.
And like a giant fucking cigar.
Yeah. I need the dolphins. I need him to fly around on space dolphins. Like I would be so
that would add to the confusion.
I know. It doesn't help things that his favorite character is oddly similar to Aquaman on paper.
I'm not going to be shocked if Superman is in this movie if he's in the trailer, personally. Yeah, that's a selling point right now. Superman's hot.
Yeah.
Superman's hot right now.
Yeah, he is.
I do think, if anything, I'm hoping they might play on the tagline that they have on the first poster, which is instead of look up, it's a look out. Like, I could totally see them doing the title treatment that they did for the Superman campaign and then just fully leaning into the look out of it all. I think that would be really fun.
All right. Our next topic here. HBO CEO Casey Bloys says Lanterns isn't premiering until late summer 2026. Teaser trailer just screened at the Brazil Upfronts event. This is not to toot my own horn here, but the Phase Hero listeners heard me confirm. I was surprised this didn't get picked up anywhere. I knew that Lanterns was coming after Supergirl. I said it on the show a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wait a second. Did I say that? I don't know if that's known, but I knew it with certainty, and now it's officially confirmed because it came from somebody far more reliable than me, so I understand. But Jenna seemingly has quite a bit to say about this one.
So many people framed this as, oh my God, the show got delayed. This is immediately a bad thing, whatever. You can't be delayed if you don't have a release date. We had at best a release window, and it was in like an internal memo that David Zaslav gave like a couple months ago. Like, we didn't really concretely know when the show was going to be. People just assumed it was going to be at some point in the first half of the year before Supergirl. When you look at the first half of the year, and especially the first quarter of this year, you have the Super Bowl and all of the games leading up to that. Then you have the Winter Olympics for an entire month. Then you have March Madness, and like a month or two after that, you have the World Cup. People are going to be busy watching other things and maybe not tuning into HBO every single Sunday night. So like, I'm totally fine waiting until you're able to get a more captive audience, and then you can run TV TV spots on every single one of those things that I just mentioned and get the audience that way. I also we've been waiting for a Green Lantern thing of this caliber for so long. You can wait another couple of months. Let the VFX really cook, let everything really get together. It will be worth the wait.
I'll say this. I see Stamina's comment. Stamina, you're in the UK, by the way. I don't even want to know what time it is there. We appreciate you rocking with us. London calling, London gang. What's up? Jenna, I think I love what you said. I see Stamina's comment. A longer wait for us equals a delay with kind of a cheeky upside down smiley face. I get that. This has been the plan for a very long time for Supergirl to release before Lanterns. Peacemaker premiered on August 21st. And it was a huge success. At least it felt like it to me, that everybody I knew online and everything I saw in the media, everybody was talking about Peacemaker because there's really not too much it was in competition with. And it was on the heels of Superman, a movie getting your hype up, then segueing that into a series in the same universe sometime later, maybe August, would be very sensible and on brand for what they just did and found success with. So this is not like a red flag, everybody freak out, they're delaying it, they're redoing stuff. Maybe they are redoing stuff. I don't know. But I can tell for a long time, this has been the plan. And this is not a sign of trouble.
I will also say this is the first DC Studio show that is also an HBO show. It is not just an HBO Max show. It is airing on linear HBO. They have a schedule that they have to coordinate. And so maybe they're putting Game of Thrones at a certain slot and then they want to have Lanterns anchor another slot. They're being intentional with it. And you can't just have it be a streaming schedule and you put it out whenever you want.
Yeah. When does A Night of the Seven Kingdoms premiere? Go ahead, Aaron, I'll look it up.
There's a alleged House of the Dragon season 3 trailer next week at CCXP as well.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms is January, but I understand Jenna's point. House of the Dragon season 3. I mean, there's just so much programming.
If there's 2 Game of Thrones shows with before Lanterns premieres, then that is a huge chunk of your programming. That's a huge chunk of your audience. HBO is very good at running trailers for shows right after or around when similar shows end or are about to end. So I feel like Lanterns is going to be one of those cases.
I agree. I can't wait for Lanterns. I'm very excited for Supergirl, for Lanterns, and for Clayface. Mike Flanagan, who I know best from Dr. Sleep, but has quite a resume. He is the writer of Clayface, did not direct it, was going to direct it and didn't. Told Screen Rant, just really grateful that I got to be a very small part of a very small corner of Gotham. That's like a childhood dream of mine. So kind of a non-update, but a cool little note there from Mike Flanagan, who is basically the reason this movie exists because he wrote the script. That's how James and Peter work. They don't do anything without a script and a fully fleshed out idea. He was almost going to direct it, but didn't. I don't know if that's I can tell you.
It was kind of inferred.
Yeah.
I wanted it so bad. I'm still sad about it.
Yeah.
I'm just still happy that this movie even exists because this was an idea he had 3 DC regimes ago and just offhandedly mentioned on Twitter. And everyone was like, oh, that sounds cool. And never thought it would actually become a reality. And for production to now be wrapped and it comes out in less than a year is wild to think about. Yeah.
I'm excited for that movie. R-rated. It's going to be I'll never forget it. The Superman trailer event, Peter Safran told me it's going to be like DC's The Fly. So that's some body horror, crazy shit that they're doing over there. And I'm sure that got James Gunn, who's made Slither and crazy stuff before. I'm sure that was not hard to convince him to buy in on too. I want to go back in the comments while we pivot off of DC and into Star Wars for one quick story. I want to go to Eric Hitoshi's comment. Said, got to put my kiddo to bed, but we'll finish the episode later tonight. Hell yay for the new time slot. Love y'all. Jenna just coined a term, first of all, with the hell yay. Eric just got the 10 spot in the super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. W. Eric in the chat. Eric with a K. We appreciate you. And welcome back to the show later with the kiddo sleeping in bed. Hey, over 100 people watching live right now. The new time slot ain't all that bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Hey, this was a story I added here, not only because I like the news, but because a friend of mine launched a podcast and it is doing so well. And it was a perfect opportunity to shout it out. Kevin McCarthy, not the Republican congressman, Kevin McCarthy formerly of Fox DC. It's the first person I ever met at a movie junket. We met at Chappie in New York City in 2015. He was the first person to ever say hi and make me feel like I could have friends in the movie space. Genuinely one of the nicest people I know. But on top of that, I'm sure everybody here who likes movies has seen a Kevin McCarthy clip at some point if you've never met him, because I don't know anyone who knows more about movies and he has a podcast called On Film. Jamie, you know a lot about movies. I actually, as I said that, I was like, maybe Jamie, but I gotta say, Kevin just knows. No.
For the audio listener, Jamie turned the camera
That's a lot of
around
fucking
to
movies.
her
That is a
impressive
lot.
physical media collection that I have stared at for hours in her house.
That is so many movies. I don't mean that. I just think like.
No,
I would be
he's
interested.
also older than me, so his ticket collect, because I'm like him too, where I save all my movie tickets, and he's older than me, so he does have more tickets than I do. There's just no getting around it.
He just like he will know the cinematographer of every movie. This trick, that trick. He knows his depth of knowledge for how things are made and just every like what kind of film it was shot on with every movie. And I would say in my life, Jamie, you're the only person I would even consider competing with that.
I'll take it. I'll take that. Thank you.
I don't know anyone else that I could even put in that realm. But I just think Kevin is one of the nicest guys, and I think he's a movie genius, and it's such a genuine thing, the same way Jamie's is. And he has his own podcast now because he left his outlet. He started his own podcast called On Film with Kevin McCarthy, and actually very fittingly, the logo is a ticket stub because he does that whole ticket stub gimmick, and it's great. But he had Sean Levy on, and they talked about all kinds of Sean Levy stuff. I'm assuming it was for Stranger Things, but Star Wars Starfighter came up because Sean Levy, who just did Deadpool and Wolverine, is doing Star Wars Starfighter. And he revealed on Kevin's podcast that the composer for the movie is going to be Thomas Newman. Thomas Newman has done so many great scores. He's uncredited, but worked on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for our audience to have something they're familiar with. And his IMDb also includes things like Jurassic World Dominion, which, say what you will about the movie, score wasn't bad. But he's done Finding Dory, Gravity, Interstellar he worked on as a musician. But there's like scores that he led. I want to find the full list here. Shawshank Redemption is one of them. The third.
I'd like to say, that American Beauty is one of my favorite soundtracks or scores of all time, no matter how you feel about that film. And the idea of that, like, he has such a vibe. You always know when it's Thomas Newman. You can hear Thomas Newman, and like I'm really excited for that energy to come to Star Wars. It's going to be really different, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's what Sean Levy said. Sean was saying if you listen to clip, Kevin posted it on Instagram and TikTok, and obviously his podcast is available on every podcast platform, just like ours is. Sean says that he wanted to do something that wasn't just emulating John Williams and trying to repeat what John Williams did, of course, honoring it, but he wanted something that was like really big-hearted and intense and exciting and has a specific sound because he thinks every movie needs to have its own soundtrack. He even brought that to Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, every character in Deadpool and Wolverine had a distinct sound with what they did there. That wasn't Thomas Newman. But so Tolkien, 1917, I Spy, what a movie. Passengers, Bridge of Spies, Spectre, he's done James Bond movies. The Judge, oh my God, I remember when Robert Downey Jr. announced that movie and I thought it was going to be something Marvel related, and it wasn't. It was just The Judge. Wall-E, these are all Tom. Like, he's 6 feet under. Wow, what a series. One episode though. Finding Nemo, just a ton of great stuff on Thomas Newman's resume here, and I think it's going to be really fun to have someone fresh in the Star Wars world after Michael Giacchino put his stamp in there. After who did Ludwig Göransson get into Star Wars at some point? Am I making that up? Mandalorian, yeah. So we'll see. It's Thomas Newman's turn to follow the lead started by John Williams. Anyway, that was sorry. Kevin McCarthy paid me to say all that. No. He did. No, I love Kevin, and I want to support people who are out doing their own thing. Jenna and Jamie are passionate about this next one, I think.
Yes. So it was a joy waking up to this a week ago and texting like half a dozen different people and then sending a text to Jamie knowing like 3 hours from now when she wakes up, she's also going to watch this and be very excited. So they put out the trailer for the newest Hunger Games movie, which is called Sunrise on the Reaping. It is a great trailer. They also put it out a year to the date of when the movie is going to be released, which I know we're talking about Doomsday potentially doing the same thing, but like I love that they were able to do this here. For perspective, the book got announced like a little over a year ago and just came out this past spring. So like it's crazy the timeline that they've been able to put this together.
Didn't they announce the movie and the book on the same day?
They did.
Yep.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it looks so good. I can't get over the casting.
Yes.
Especially the casting of characters that we saw in the previous films, like
Yes.
Jesse Plemons being young, Philip Seymour Hoffman, like that kind of like Elle Fanning as a young Elizabeth Banks, like just inspired casting going on here, and it looks incredible. I'm such a sucker for this universe, and I'm talk about crying. The hardest I think I cried this year was finishing this book. So
And so for people who have no idea what we're talking about, so the movie is directed by Francis Lawrence, who has done all of the movies in the franchise so far. It is another prequel set before Katniss's whole story, and it follows young Haymitch, who was Woody Harrelson's character during the 50th Hunger Games, which were special, quote unquote, because they had twice the number of tributes. And so it is Joseph Zada starring as Haymitch, and like Jamie said, the cast around him is stacked, and a lot of them are characters who you will recognize if you know the original trilogy. We have McKenna Grace, Jesse Plemons, Glenn Close, who looks unrecognizable. Like her character looks even more terrifying than I had envisioned when I read this book, because she's supposed to have like massive plastic surgery and like body mods and stuff, and like never thought she would look this creepy.
It's like straight out of Brazil.
Yeah.
Like wild business.
It's so cool. And then we have Kieran Culkin, Elle Fanning, Billy Porter, Maya Hawke, and then Ray Fiennes as younger President Snow. And then there's like this whole 60s, 70s kind of vibe, which I was not expecting at all, of like how colorful and just the fashion and stuff. Like this movie is going to be amazing. It's going to look amazing. And then like Jamie said, it is going to rip your heart out and stop on it for the last act.
Ray Fiennes is looking like George Washington.
Uh-huh.
Voldemort did a George Washington cosplay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know the story. I just knew this was like a Haymitch prequel thing. I was very unfamiliar with this double. I remember in the first Hunger. I've never read the books.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise. I remember in the first Hunger Games movies, Haymitch referenced, like that was referenced all the time.
Yes, in the second book, they watch a edited version of what happens in his games, and then now you get the full story.
Okay, I'm way more excited for this now after hearing you break it down. Jesse Plemons, given that, what kind of American look are you?
He is perfect for this role. Like young Philip Seymour Hoffman. Everyone was like, oh, Cooper Hoffman, just cast his son. But like, if you're going to go not that direction, Jesse Plemons is the perfect way to go.
Jesse Plemons looks more like Philip Seymour Hoffman than Cooper Hoffman does.
That is true.
Also, he played his son in The Master. So, it's like we've a precedent for it. It's I'm so excited for this one. And like, I don't know. We don't know, but like I'm really holding out for a Woody Harrelson cameo, like because you hear his voice in the trailer. So why, how, I don't know. I can't say. Read the book, but it's. I'm so excited.
Don't be surprised when we do our 2026 like anticipation rankings and we talk about non-superhero stuff. This is going to be in my top 5, definitely.
Wow, November 20th, 2026. Wow, what a good year-to-year birthday movies for me. I had Wicked for Good this year, and next year, the day before my birthday, I get a potentially great Hunger Games prequel movie. All right.
Get ready to cry on your birthday.
Yeah.
I did this year. Wicked for Good. Jeez. All right, what else we got here? Let's take a look at what is left in today's show.
We have Wicked to talk about.
Oh wow, what a perfect transition. I'll tell you what. Wicked for Good. I mean, it is putting up numbers at the box office. $161 million domestic debut, $237 million worldwide. I think that's just so far. I think it was a like one something crazy and then 220 worldwide. I don't know. Second biggest opening of the year. Holy shit. Second biggest opening of the year behind Minecraft. Just like we drew it up. Just like we all predicted.
But Minecraft only made like 1.7 million more, which is wild.
Chicken jockey. I still haven't seen Minecraft, if I'm honest with you. That's crazy.
Me neither.
Warner Brothers has had Warner Brothers has pretty indisputably had the best year at the movies of any studio this year, right?
Yeah.
They've had Minecraft, Sinners, Superman, F1.
One battle after another.
One battle after another, but that was a very expensive movie to make. But it did better than I think they thought it would.
Yeah.
Coming back in IMAX 70 millimeter. I missed it the first time, so I've already got my tickets.
I'm hoping they bring it back by the time I have a 70 millimeter theater near me.
Go to Indiana, Jenna.
I'm not going to Indiana.
Is looking for a ride. I'll hook you two up, and you can become friends and drive to Indiana together.
I really want to see Sinners in 70 millimeter IMAX.
It's worth it.
That's what the one I want to see, but I don't think Nashville has a 70 millimeter IMAX theater, so I'll have to be in LA and be able to get tickets for it, which is almost impossible. But yeah, wow, big year for Warner Brothers as they gear up to, who knows, buy Paramount, what's going to happen there, whatever, or get sold, whatever. I don't even know how any of this is working. Or no, Paramount wants to buy them. Oh God. Hey, Rush Hour 4 is happening. By the way. I love Rush Hour 1 through 3, so I'm trying to find the silver lining here. I like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
don't give this movie your money. Please don't give this movie your money. I mean, not just because Trump made it happen, which is like, I saw a tweet that was like the dumbest state-run media we've ever gotten, but it's also because they're bringing back Brett Ratner, who was very much Me Too'd like very much Me Too'd, not in a subtle, maybe way. In a 6 different people came out with some credible sourced stories about this man, but he's making a documentary about Melania, so he's in with the fam, and that's why this is happening. Don't give that movie your money.
Yeah, it crushes my soul because I wanted Rush Hour 4 for such a long time. Like, genuinely wanted this movie for such a long time.
They're fun movies.
What?
They're fun. I'm with you. They're fun movies, but...
Hey, Sean Marie Long, thank you so much for the 1999. Happy belated birthday, BD. Hey, Sean in the chat. That's SHAWN. Guys, get it right. Thank you so much, Sean. It's been a fantastic start to 34 so far. Yeah, it's been okay, actually. Whatever. Not much has happened, which is nice. I'm doing old man sneezes since I'm 34 now. All right. Holiday weekend. A couple big movies in theaters. Wicked for Good if you haven't seen it yet. I think all 4 of us recommend it. Our discussion is available. Our review discussion breakdown is available on podcast platforms. If you're a video watcher, sorry, it's only available on the audio. Got to go subscribe and download it, please. Thank you. Leave a 5-star review when you're done. But we've already talked about Wicked. Everybody seems to have already seen Wicked. There's a couple other big movies coming out this weekend. Zootopia 2 is one of them that's going to be getting the box office stuffed like a turkey. Aaron has seen it.
I have. That hashtag show hosted a screening of Zootopia in ScreenX. So we got to see that. Was very excited. Now, the other member of my household, massive Zootopia fan. I don't know what I was doing at that time. There was a big gap of Disney movies that I just did not get to see on first blush, and this is in that pocket. I still really enjoyed myself and was really like, wow, oh my God. Like I thought it was funnier for adults than I maybe expected going in, but definitely acceptable and fun and engaging for all ages. A very relatable story about power and understanding people with differences. Buddy of ours, hopefully, Ki-Hai Kwan, tremendous as a snake. I love Gary the Snake. There's a sipper at Disneyland right now. I'm going to sneak in and go get myself a snake to drink a beverage out of at some point. And also, every single famous person in Hollywood is in this thing for 5 seconds as a celebrity voice. Friend of the podcast, Bob Iger, is in there as a weatherman for exactly 5 seconds. Named Bob Tiger because he was a weatherman before he was the CEO of Disney. And I was just like,
Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
The Rock's in here. Dwayne's in there for 2 seconds.
Are these spoilers? Hold on, be careful. I didn't know that.
You won't be able to tell. If you can guess who the Rock is in Zootopia 2, I will buy you. I don't know what treat you're allowed to have. I'm assuming he's a silverback gorilla.
I'm going to assume he's a giant gorilla. Did I hit the nail on the head?
No. Keep guessing. I don't know what treats you're allowed to have while you're in training, so we'll work that out. But yes, Zootopia 2, a delightful time. Second biggest preview total in Walt Disney Animation history behind Moana 2 last year. Higher than freaking Frozen 2, which I was like, that's insane. This is a wild number. So I think every movie theater in America is about to have half of the screens be Wicked, half of the screens be Zootopia, and then one small beer in a empty theater for one battle after another. I think that's what this weekend is shaping up to be.
Aaron, I got a question for you. Important question. Is Zootopia 2 beating K-pop Demon Hunters for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars?
Oh no.
No? Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
No. I don't think anything's beating K-pop Demon Hunters.
I think K-pop's a lock for Best Song, but animated, I don't know. People they love their Disney over there.
That would be so interesting because I don't know if it's a better movie, but it is really good. I think it's better than some of the other movies that have been nominated. I also think that if Naja 2 is in there, you just cannot thumb your nose at a movie that made $2 billion. You just can't. So I don't know what's going to happen with that either. I was like, man, this thing is pretty and I barely understand what's going on. But I'm like one of those kids locked up, like an infant on a big tablet. Like, oh my God, look at the fish.
the other movie going to theaters this weekend for a limited run is a Netflix movie that I actually am glad was added to this because I was unaware it was in theaters this weekend, and I might buy a ticket because I'd rather see it in a big screen.
See it in theaters. Wake Up Dead Man. It's out for the next probably week before it drops on Netflix. Jenna, what day does it drop on Netflix? I feel like you know the answer.
December 12th. Just based on how they did Frankenstein, it'll be in theaters until it releases on Netflix.
Yeah,
Like Frankenstein, you could literally see the day before.
It's the kind of movie where like laughing with a crowd is the way to go.
We also should say it's the third Knives Out movie because you didn't say the full title.
Well, it's not. It's just Wake Up Dead Man. But yeah,
Isn't it
it's the
technically
third-
Wake Up Dead Man :
No,
a Knives Out mystery or whatever?
They cut that. Like they
Okay,
did that with
good.
Glass Onion. No, it's
Good.
the third Knives Out movie, the Benoit Blanc film starring Daniel Craig. I have lots to say about it, but I will say things that no spoilers. I promise. What's really interesting is that for me, why I liked this movie so much is that I think Ryan Johnson with the first two, he tackled like the rich. And this one, he tackles despotism, which is, I think that all of his movies, particularly this one, are kind of an allegory for what's going on with like Trump. And in this case, he decided to do that through the Catholic Church, which was a bold move because he manages to like poke fun at cultists without taking down Christianity, which is a fine line that I can't believe he did it. Like it's really impressive. The story is impressive. It's I think the best mystery of the three, hands down, but it's my least favorite. And that is because it is not as fun. In the first two movies, all the characters are so quirky and they all stand out. You love every single one. Most of the characters in this, it just doesn't feel that way. And that was my biggest issue with it, but it's still a great time. I highly recommend
kind of White
it.
Lotus-y?
No, it's not that. It's just that they just in the first two movies, like every character is just so over the top, and they're a character. Like you want each character on a t-shirt because they're just so like silly and memorable. And most for the most part,
T-shirts are reserved for the likes of Mr. Bebop Boobop around here.
But most of the characters in this one, like they're not, the characters themselves aren't necessarily memorable, but that doesn't mean the performances aren't good. Josh O'Connor especially was phenomenal in the film. I would say like it's almost his film as much as it's Daniel Craig. So definitely go see it. It's great. I think a lot of people will like it more than Glass Onion. I did not.
Okay.
I just rewatched Glass Onion last night. Like we've been doing our rewatch in anticipation for this, and like you just got me even more excited. I said this in my Letterboxd review for Glass Onion, but each of these movies is so fundamentally different from each other. Like Glass Onion in its construction, in like just the texture of it, in the performances, like it is so different from Knives Out. So it's like I'm excited to see something else different here, even if, as you said, like it won't land exactly the same way as the other two did.
I don't think this is playing in Nashville this weekend, and that's kind of fucking me up.
It's not at any AMC's. I'll tell you that. I had to.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to go to a very small theater near us to go see it.
Probably in like the little. Tiny
It's a bummer
booth.
because Glass Onion had like a full theatrical release. Like I could see that at the local Cinemark.
I was also bummed because Frankenstein was playing at the Chinese theater on the big IMAX, and I thought Wake Up Dead Man would do that as well, but it was like next door at the regular theater,
Dang.
which was a bummer.
It's not here until December 3rd, and it's at like the dinky. I mean, I respect the hell out of this theater. I'm glad it exists, but the seats are so uncomfortable. It's like an old independent theater that plays a lot of independent films, but then it will occasionally get movies like this. But my God, it's just so uncomfortable. The poor Belcourt Theater in Nashville. But I respect it for existing and appreciate that. Maybe I'll buy a ticket. Go see
the theater I have to go to and that I went to see Frankenstein, you literally sit in office chairs. So like I understand.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm willing to make the sacrifice for good art and seeing it on the big screen.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. The comfort of my home on a big TV or an uncomfortable chair on a really nice screen.
You can watch it at home a million times after it's available. You can only see it for the first time in theaters once.
I'm 34. My body hurts. Hey, Hannah, thank
That's
you.
because you keep getting it slammed around. Because
Listen.
you're
That is
like,
true.
I'm older than you.
We don't choose our hobbies, okay? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Hannah, thank you for the $1.99. Frankenstein is getting a physical media release. Is that true? That's exciting.
I hope so.
That's cool. I'll Google that. That's how we'll wrap up the show. Thank you for the $1.99, Hannah, who now just said, I'm 27 and my body hurts. Yeah, I get it. Frankenstein physical media release. What do you got for us? Guillermo del Toro confirms Frankenstein will be released on physical media, joeblow.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I would like a steel book. Why not? I don't
I
buy
know
as much physical media
Criterion
anymore.
handled his Pinocchio, which was a Netflix movie. So
Mm.
that isn't super surprising. I would love a Criterion release of Frankenstein. Like the special features and just the cover, I think would be really cool.
It disappoints me that I disappoint myself in this, that I don't buy as much physical media anymore. I just don't, because I'm not an order online person unless I have to for something. It has to be something really unique or whatever that I really want to get online. With DVDs and Blu-rays, I really liked walking into the store, buying it and taking it home. And now Walmart, Best Buy, Target, like whatever store you used to get, like unless it's a literal video store, which is harder to find now too, and I don't really find myself just going there like I would be shopping for groceries at one of those other stores or something else I need and picking up a movie on the way out. I buy less now. I don't even think I have a couple of the last MCU movies on physical media, and I thought for sure I mean, I will get them eventually just because I'm a completionist, but it's just that's a bummer.
Barnes and Noble still sells Criterion. So,
Yeah.
It sucks. It's like all like the big kind of chains, these corrupt businesses. But next time you see a Barnes and Noble, scroll that Criterion section.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I think that's our show today. I think that's everything. Jenna, any last words for our November 26th Thanksgiving Eve episode of Phase Hero?
It's at Hey It's Jenna Lynn on social media. As always, go read some comics and go subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Go Read Some Comics. I just posted a video earlier today for your Thanksgiving weekend viewing when you're done watching Defunctland's 4-hour video that I'm very excited to go watch at some point this weekend. Aaron knows what I'm talking about. It's 4 hours on Disney animatronics. My video is not that long. It's 20 minutes and it's just me talking about big bads and Thanos and why people have unrealistic expectations for Doom and Darkseid.
Aaron, what you got?
Oh goodness, it's at How to Watch Free TV. Last week I talked to the cast of Bel-Air. They're going into their last season. You can watch the whole first season on Roku channel for free. It was nice to talk with all of the young actors and the older actors about like their journey through. And I also talked to Jordan Sparks about Merry Little Mystery, which is a holiday movie on Roku channel, and she is a delight. So both of those things are available to watch for free.
There you go. Jamie, what you got?
At Jamie Jirak on Letterboxd, where you can read the thoughts and opinions of the BD's second most knowledgeable friend about movies. So it's pretty cool. And then at Lidopod to listen to Love in the Time of Hydra. We've got 2 main episodes left of 2025, and our last one is a big one. I'm announcing our final guest this week on Sunday, so you don't want to miss that. It's gonna be good.
I was just trying something. I didn't expect it to be so loud. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Go subscribe to everybody's channels. Leave a 5-star review. Hit the little subscribe button on podcast platforms as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Play our show for your dad. Play it for your cat. Have a wonderful stay. Oh, hold on. We got a thought.
Go watch BD wrestle.
Yeah.
Hey, Thursday night. Thank you, Aaron. Thursday night, the first title defense at Thanksgiving Thunder. It's free to watch on YouTube. You type in OVW Wrestling on YouTube. It is free to watch. The first title defense, it's myself versus Icon Lee. You should check it out because it already happened. Usually the show is live and free to watch, but tomorrow is a holiday, so it is not live, but it's still broadcasting. I haven't even seen the match yet. I lived through it. Everything hurts. My leg is sore. You'll see. But yeah, go watch. Thank you, Aaron. Play our show for your dad. Play it for your cat. Subscribe to the channels. Do all those good things. Go in the OVW comment section and type "Icon sucks" all night long. And we'll see you next week for another live Phase Hero at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, and available on every major podcast platform every Thursday morning. Hey, by the way, James Cameron's going to be on the channel soon.
Woo!